तस्मै
हरे कृष्ण।
श्रीगुरवे श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथामह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरं पुंसां महापातकनाशनं ध्यात्वा नीलोत्पलश्यामं रामं राजीवलोचनं जानकी लक्ष्मणोपेतं जटामकुटमण्डितं रामेति रामभद्रेति रामचन्द्रेति यन्स्मरन् नरो न लिप्यते पापैर्भुक्तिं मुक्तिं विन्दति। वेदान्तवेद्य यज्ञेश पुराणपुरुषोत्तम जानकी वल्लभ श्रीमान् अप्रमेय पराक्रम इत्येतानि जपन् नित्यं तद्भक्ता श्रद्धयान्विता अश्वमेधाधिकं पुण्यं सम्प्राप्नोति न संशयः। So welcome you all for our day 6 of Srimad Ramayana Kathamrtam. In that we are um, going to spend some time and be blessed by discussing some of the crucial um, episodes of um, Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha Kanda, we can see by the name itself, Valmiki ji is hinting us that this is the section which is kind of a climax for the whole wonderful epic of Ramayana. And this is, in fact, if we can see, one of the causes why Lord Ram appeared. Uh, of course, we can always say because the Lord is completely independent, Purna Purushottama, uh, who is Atmaram. He doesn't need anyone for his pleasure. Yeah. But the Lord always honors the requests of especially his beloved devotees. When the Devatas were in calamities and when they ran to take shelter of Lord Vishnu, they have approached him and begged for protection against that demon who was creating all kinds of havocs in all over, who is none other than Ravan. Then Ram obliged their request and said that he would protect. There are multiple reasons there why Lord appears. Hmm. Lord could have sent his potency. Lord could have sent his expansion. Lord could have sent his messenger. He could have done many ways, but there is also other reasons why Lord appeared in the form of Lord Ram, yeah, and to please, yeah, where we see here Dasharath and Kausalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi. They got the opportunity to relish the mellow of Vatsalya Bhav, that they can satisfy, they can serve the Lord in the relationship as the parents. Then then the other reason we discussed last time was that okay, that he could spend time with his beloved consort, Lakshmi Devi. So he has appeared. But well known and obvious reason for Lord appearance is, as he says, Yada Yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. So the Lord appears uh, mainly so that he can re-establish dharma. Ravana is adharma personified, and when an adharmic person is there, then the longer he stays, there is more adharma prevailing. The more adharma prevails, it becomes more burden to the earth. Mother Earth becomes more um, mm, disturbed. Mm. So, in that way, the Lord appears so that he can serve his devotees, and Mother Earth is none other than Bhudevi. Mm. Then there is the whole description after Sundara Kanda, where Hanuman gives whereabouts of Mother Sita. Then it was already 17 days gone. Yeah. And if you remember, what was the deadline that Mother Sita gave to Hanuman to Ram? How many days? If someone remembers, what was the deadline that Ravan gave to Mother Sita? Hmm?
Mother Sita gave 1 month actually.
Can you speak louder?
No, Mother Sita gave 1 month time actually.
1 month time. Yeah. So in that 1 month time, 2 days took for Hanuman to come to the troops and the troops to return um, to Kishkinda. Yeah. And in that way, from there, it took 10 days for them to reach the spot where, yeah, they could see the endless ocean in front of them. So how many days are left is hardly 2 weeks. And in the 2 weeks of time, everything happens, which means Yuddhakanda is full of quick, quick action. Of course, I'm not a fan of action, where Yuddhakanda is not only about only shooting arrows and killing and the typical things that we see in a battle. We can we can see how these happen, where it's all about how do you strategize so that you can win. The goal in a war is always to win, isn't it? Yeah. But when it comes to dharma, hmm, usually the wars ideally should be to do what? To establish dharma. The Kshatriyas were entrusted the duty or their duty or their dharma or their religion is actually to do what? To protect dharma, not to just fight. If a fight is inevitable, then fight. But if otherwise, the main goal is by any means to establish dharma. Yeah. So in this Yuddhakanda, there's so many. As I said, this is, I think, the biggest section of whole Ramayana with 128 chapters, and this chapter in itself is very nice. In fact, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this in the first canto where all the different incarnations of the Lord, the principal incarnations are described. The 18th incarnation is Naradevyam Apannam. So the Lord has appeared as a superhuman. Devatvam Apannam Surakarya Chikirshaya Samudra Nigrahani Di Chakre uh, Virya Viryani Atah Param. So it gives a one very concise understanding of the whole Ramayana, the purpose of Lord appearance. It said in the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Lord Ram in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods, which means the devatas uh, were pleased, and he exhibited superhuman power by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravan, hmm, who was on the other side of the sea. So this is that exact moment which is related, yeah, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is kind of encapsulating the whole events before and after. And so when we enter the Yuddha Kanda, it starts actually the first few chapters is telling about how the Lord has arranged his troops. Yeah, how Sugriva has brought a million of monkeys, of bears, of lions, of different kinds of. Everyone came, everyone came of different sizes and shapes and strengths and all, and assembled, and this whole uh, Sainya, the army of Sugriv, marched and finally came and reached at this, yeah, what do you call, the base, the bank of this ocean. Mm. And then just once Ram came here, Ram, he immediately felt his beloved missing, Sita. Until now, he was far. He was far, and he didn't know where is she. He was worried, but now he is almost close and becomes more anxious. How he can quickly relieve her from this agony, the pain that she is going through. So, a few chapters describe about that, and Ram is asking how uh, mm, to describe the details of Lanka, because yeah, when Hanuma explained everything, and then after coming here, Ram is asking for details. So while this was going on in this side of the troop, the other side is where Ravan. Ravan had never saw a defeat. Of course, he has not yet seen a defeat, but he is not even seen someone daring to come enter into Lanka and does this kind of damage that Hanuman did. What Hanuman did was never thought, no one thought. No? And then the smell of the smoke that was left by Hanuman burning everything with his lit up tail, was was quite uh, disheartening, yeah. And also for a king like Ravan, felt too much humiliation was so bad for him that he was thinking, uh, uh, it impossible to uh, have someone enter into Lanka and doing this. Mm. So he saw this whole infrastructure is annihilated, uh, but more annihilation is the morale of the whole Lankans. Everyone were thinking, hey, our master is the supreme master. There is no one. Here they always thought it was him. Uh, um, this kind of assessment made Ravan more depressed, and he was thinking, what has happened? He never thought about it. It was a shock for him. So when when Ravan was so much lost in his thought, then his wife Mandodari, she saw him, and she said, "Yeah, um, what would have happened is because of yeah, something that you have done." Mm. So of course, um, he was expecting Mandodari would support him, yeah, because he was thinking she is his beloved, uh, and mm, she understood that all this is because of the incidents that he has done has led to this effect, after effects. And um, when Mandodari shared this, that hey, it was this monkeys that have done because of what you have done, uh, then um, Ravan started saying that Mandodari, you should be dharmic. What does it mean to be dharmic? Is you should always support your husband. Hmm? Uh, and of course, what Ravan expects in terms of that as a duty of a wife, duty of wife is to support the husband, but supporting what really means is to make sure that the husband leads a happy and dharmic life. This is what for Mandodari supporting means. Whereas for Ravan, what supporting is that whatever he does, to just say no, to just not to say no. Mhm. The fact he had a problem is all about honesty. He cannot tolerate the honesty because he is always believing he is right. So he was always not interested in the words that are bitter for him. He always want people appreciate him for whatever he does. So in that way, this is what he wanted. Mm. So he, when Mandodari was saying, he just reminded her that as if she forgot her duty, but in fact it is Ravan who didn't understand what she is doing is right, and she is trying to help him. So he didn't hear, uh, he did was, um, uh, he thought that maybe Mandodari will understand and she would pacify him, support him, so that he feels more. There is more people who are supporting. Rather, when she said so, he left the chamber, the quarters, and then he went out. And then after going out, he immediately called for people. And then you know what he said? He said, uh, "Call Maya. Uh, he is the one. Yeah, we know he is the famous architect. Yeah, he is the famous architect who was ordered by Ravan to construct everything. So." Uh, he is the one who has some great mystic powers through which he can construct everything back. And Ravan organized, you know what, the next thing is done is when Maya has rebuilt everything which was broken, the walls, the security system, everything. Then he said next thing immediately he organized, you know, song and dance festivals so that people can uh, forget what has happened, so that they can absorb once again in pleasures and then forget. This is what happens. I don't know. There was this, I don't know if you have seen in the back, in the BC, like even 3,000 years back, or even which says that if there is a one king strategy, what if the king is barbarous, what he does is great, organize the people can sensually enjoy. So that was also Ravan what he did. And then open the doors for enjoyment in terms of free flowing, had lakes of liquor, liquor lakes, where everyone can just go and drink as much as they want, and in that way had and changed the course of the stage what he was the Lanka was built. Still he was not, he's just kind of covering, so that the people moral is maintained, but he had this humiliation that he cannot forget it. So he was thinking so, when everyone were so much enjoying, uh, Ravan was going, he came across Vibhishan house, and this house was, he saw this house was saved from Hanuman. How is it possible? Yeah, did they know each other? This is the question that he had. Was that why Vibhishan even stopped me from not killing him? Is that Ravan shook his head and he wanted to find out more. Having decided he want to enter to check, he went. The more he went inside, then he started seeing their special battis that are lit, very very fresh house. And the more he came closer, he even started hearing um, some strange chanting. And when he came more closer, he could hear this chanting even made him so angry because he was hearing the chanting that is coming from Vibhishan, and it is not uh, something else but Ram. He thought, yes, now whatever I was thinking, I think it's right. So Vibhishan already is our enemy. Vibhishan is our enemy. If Vibhishan is not burnt, so entered, which actually shocked Vibhishan. Yeah, and then he said, "How dare you do this?" Yeah. Um, um, just hearing his roar from his brother shocked Vibhishan. And then Ravan asked, "Tell me, what are you doing?" Hmm? This is not at all acceptable. Then Ravan asked, Vibhishan said, "Yeah, I never chanted the name of your enemy." Because this is what uh, Ram. He was saying, "Come on, I can hear you. You are chanting Rama, and then you are saying no." And then Vibhishan finally he said, "No, no, no. Did you hear like that? Actually, I was chanting your name." Yeah, then Ravan was surprised. How come you have chanted my name? He said, I have chanted your name and Mandodari name and Ravana and Mandodari. When it became fast, I think it came out as Rama, but actually, in fact, was yeah, chanting your name. So saying so, then his brother was quite uh, Mm, great. He felt great, and then he said, "Ah, you can continue," and then he left the place. But here the Acharya says that, yeah, in fact, what Vibhishan was doing is that he was not so straight in what he was doing straight away, in the sense that he was always um, kept. Mm, yeah, his bhakti secondary, and always ensuring that his relation can be maintained. Of course, why he was maintaining a relation is, for as long as Vibhishan stayed in Lanka and practiced devotion, his bhakti kept feeding Ravan. And that way, what acharyas are saying is, uh, Vibhishan's austerity and penances. Okay, now I need to change the network. Vibhu? So it kept feeding Ravana's strength. So in this way, Vibhishan's life, on the phone, this, uh, Vibhishan's life in Lanka is a life of compromise, that he is not practicing full-fledged his devotion to his Supreme Lord. Yeah. So he is compromised with moha and ahankar. He wanted to maintain his identity, yeah, and also attachment to his family. So in that way, uh, Vibhishan and Ravan, they didn't go to that extent that they fight and then they mm, divide, but rather they just let a compromise so that they can maintain, they can live. No one in the society will not say, "Hey, you have outcasted your brother," or no one will say, Vibhishan, uh, that yeah, you have insulted your master or brother. So this mutual understanding between them maintained, live together. And Ravan, after he's saying, "I'm glad I gave him time to explain. Otherwise, if I didn't know what he's chanting, I would have killed him." Saying so, he left. But importantly, here we see that Vibhishan, uh, Amaphone. Okay, let's find. Vibhav. So in that way, anyway, so now after this, now Ravan called people, all his people to the court, royal assembly, and he said, "You know what, I want to uh, talk to you a very, very important matter." Mm. And it is said that one should seek advice of before we take a decision. And you are all wise people. Mm. All of you are very wise and great intellectual. And then I would like to seek your advice on a very important question that can save Lanka from destruction. Mm. And I was thinking, yeah, we just have seen one monkey who came in and has done huge destruction, and there are so many such monkeys there, led by Sugriv. A big army is there, and there is this Ram uh, alone. I heard he's very powerful, that he could dry up the ocean. Uh, he may reach Lanka anytime, and then there can be a war anytime. So I want all of you to think intensely and tell me what is the right thing to do for the welfare of the Lanka and its citizens. And wow, they never saw their king asking something. Yeah, definitely this would be a serious issue, serious thing. And they had never seen. So then one after the other, they kept coming up with their suggestions. Uh, um, one said, Master, do not underestimate our strength. Hmm. Yeah, we are not inferior to any army in the world. We are very strong. Uh, and um, when we march with you, we have never failed. We have been always victorious. Uh, and we know how strong you are. Mm. I still remember that you have conquered Yama, the god of death, and you have also subdued mm, kingdom of Kuber. Yeah, and yeah, you're great. Your amazing victories against the Nagas and your conquest of mystical Kalakeyas. And in that way, they started explaining that hey, you are not an ordinary king, and with you, when we are there, we always know that victory is in our hand. We don't even need your presence in the battle against those Vanaras, monkeys. They after all monkeys. Uh, just Indrajit is enough. He can defeat everyone. Ram and his entire Vanar army is nothing. Nothing is difficult to us. Don't stress over the insignificant monkeys. Yeah, we will be able to kill all the men of Ram. Saying so, Prahasta, the commander in chief, he stood and he said, uh, when the Devatas, Gandharvas, Danavas, no one dared to fight with you in the battle. What about these Vanaras? Will they fight? Won't they be scared? Uh, I will take the ownership of protecting Lanka, and you just enjoy yourself. Yeah. You don't have to worry for anyone. I assure you, no trouble will befall you for abduction of Sita. If you abduct Sita, yeah, yeah, come on. In Rakshasa clan, there is nothing like okay, what is the duty? It's nothing. Uh, we are not people who follow the dharma. We are the one who create dharma. What is our dharma? Whatever comes to your hand, don't miss it. Enjoy. So these are the ideas that Prahasta was giving, and then another demon, uh, Durmukha. Ananda. Durmukha, he said, uh, mm, he said that this is completely unacceptable. The entire Rakshas clan has been shamed by one Vanara, and we must avenge this. Whatever has happened to Lanka, how can we just sit idle? We should. Uh, I cannot live another day thinking about the insult that is done to us. Just give me the order. I will slaughter all the monkeys all over. Uh, so I will render this Vanara species extinct. Means complete Vanar species will be no more existing, becoming. And then there is this Vajradramstra. He started saying, you know what, this Gada that I have is enough. I can smash the head of Ram, Lakshman, Sugriv, Hanuman. If I may share, yeah, they are nothing for me. He and then he didn't even wait for any answer. Before continuing, he started saying, "O King of Demons, I suggest that thousands of our shape shifting demons, that just with the thought we can change our form. What we do is, thousands of us, we will go and join. We will convert, change our form like Vanaras. We go and join the troop. No, no, not like that. We change our forms into humans. We will join the troops of Ram. How, by saying that Bharat, after knowing that, there is a war, there is a battle with Ravan, and he has sent the troops, we will join him, saying like we have come from Ayodhya. And when the right time comes, when the big damage can be done, we will just attack and then we will just destroy everything. This scheme is enough. And then Nikumba, then Vajrahanu, Rabhasa, and Suptagna. There's so many Mahaparshva, Mahodra, Atikai. So they said, when they heard, they stood up and declared that they were willing to cross any expanse of water before. Why should we wait for them to come? We can just simply go and kill everyone outside, on the other side of the bank. And in that way, uh, they raised their weapons, they screamed loud and clear. Then the whole atmosphere was surcharged with passion and a great hope for Ravan. He was thinking, yeah, when everyone is there, why should I fear? Uh, so everyone, including Ravan, felt no need for worry now, because yeah, they have full competent people around. Mm. So here we can see the speeches that they have offered was very, very soothing, very, very hope building. In fact, shouldn't we have such people who can fill the hope? But the problem with this is, have they really assessed the enemy? Have they really assessed the encounter that they are going to face? Uh, yeah, so we should understand that there are three important aspects when we speak, or even fact when we advise, or when we talk. What is that? Satyam, Priyam, Hitam. So Priyam means which is pleasing, uh, and then Hitam means which is beneficial, and Satyam which is truthful. This is very, very important when we are talking to someone, and when we do that, then we are truthful, which means we are doing the right thing. And it is more important what is prioritized first. Usually people talk, yeah, because come on, three things we cannot maintain. Let's maintain two things. Then whole equation changes. If people are just talking for benefit and for pleasing other person, forgetting the truth, then what is the cost? The other person is at loss, because he is illusioned. Hmm? And not only the other person is illusioned because he is cheated, the person who is cheating is also impacted. So it is very important what in our speech we should always remember that it is not that we should talk only pleasingly and only for the benefit of the other person, but it should be truthful. Or in fact, one should speak without um, without failure, truth. Mm. One should try to incorporate all these three in the speech as much as we can. But if at all, it has to be, if we cannot be pleasing, yeah, if we cannot be pleasing, uh, we that's okay, but we should not compromise in terms of truthfulness. uh. So the importance is given in the speech mainly for being truthful. That's why sadhus, that's why um, a devotee, satyam, param, dhimahi, the absolute truth. It is so important and prevailing. Similarly, when we want to attain follow the path of religion, then we should also speak truthful, being truthful. And Ravan, on the other side, what he want is not truth. Uh, if Mandodari was speaking truth, or if Vibhishan is speaking truth, he is not happy. It is not pleasing for him. For him, pleasing was words of praise. And these all his uh, people, they were praising him. It gave him lot of happiness. He loved to hear only that. He loved to be praised. So people are there who are looking for praise, and what is happening in that is they are cheated. Uh, in the end, if one is saying I am cheated, uh, why? Because in first place you want to be cheated. Hmm. So Ravan, he wanted to be cheated. That's why his people are there who can cheat him. So because he was so much attached to the words that pleased, he was far detached from the words that are really truthful. So for him, if a word of truth comes which is not pleasing him, he's just because he's also a scholar. He's a Brahmin. He has studied Vedas, so he understands. He knows how to use it for his favor. That's why he told to Mandodari that it's your duty not to object your husband, but actually to worship your husband. Uh, so that's what yeah, it is. He is compared. Yeah, Acharyas compare Ravana was like a owl. Owl assumes that it has very sharp vision, right? owls can see very far in the night, and it thinks it is so great, but the truth is in the daytime it can't see. It has a very blurry vision. So which means just by thinking I am great and not understanding the greatness of others, this is the mentality, all mentality. And Acharya say Ravan was like that, who could not see the light of Ram. He cannot see the greatness of Ram. He was only thinking he is great, he is great. And he's also having people who are there to say you are great, you are great. And in that way, huh? So while this was going on, when all the all this so-called good counseling was going on, everyone were saying, hey, rest. After all, you have you have come here, you have caught the hand of Sita, or you have actually brought Sita. uh, I think, yeah, why are you waiting? Why are you actually waiting? I mean, I think there is this Rakshasas. I think it's Mahapashva says, all those rules and regulations are not for us. You just go and enjoy enjoy pleasures with Sita. Uh, don't think about anything. Why to really wait? You would have already done this by now. Don't worry. So this is the counseling that his people have given. But then in the same assembly was Vibhishan. Vibhishan, uh, he uh, was yeah, very patiently waited until all this useless counseling was given to his brother. So he was calm. He came very and spoke very clearly what is the purpose. uh, and not only that, he knows very well to whom he is talking. He's not talking to his younger brother, he's talking to his elder brother. And his elder brother is not ordinary, he is puffed up, full arrogant. So he needs to choose very carefully what he speaks, because he is not interested to win. He's interested that his brother takes his advice, which is dharmic, based on the dharma. So he spoke. He spoke, um, um, and then Ravan also very attentively heard. Why? Because usually Vibhishan is not a person of just speaking for every opportunity that came, and so that he can be recognized as a great speaker, recognized as a great contributor. No, yeah, he knows that yeah. Um, one should know what is the right time to speak, and Vibhishan kept quiet, and he used to only speak when there is really a need. And here is the most important time, where if it is something can change Ravan, his course of actions, so this he thought it is the time to speak. So he spoke now, and he got up, and then when he was talking, everyone were seeing. uh, Vibhishan felt that Ravan would be in the right mentality to reconsider his thoughts, whatever all the demonic people are there telling. Uh, uh, so Vibhishan folded his hands with great awe and reverence, with bow down humbly, and then he um said, he said, um, please listen silently once what I'm going to tell. Uh, uh, and then he started logically saying, in my opinion, uh, violence should always be the last resort. None of his previous speakers said this because they were only thinking about their abilities. They were only thinking about attracting his master's appreciation, recognition, and they were not seeing the merits of Ram, the potency of Ram, and also the purpose of any kind of war. They were not interested in all these things. They only wanted to have their master happy, and if master is happy, the servant is happy. That's the mentality. So here Vibhishan, rather he said, first let's understand, it's very important. We know that how a violence can change the country's face. Yeah, when the two countries fight, there is a lot of destruction. It leads to economic loss, uh, uh, human loss, so many kinds of destructions. And uh, first, we should resolve things peacefully if possible. Mm. If there are any differences between two parties, the first thing is sandhi, uh, shanti. Sandhi means to mediate, and to shanti is to attain peacefully, to attain. Uh, and wise men, they suggest four ways of how to do. Uh, and danda, which is a violence, is the last one. First is sama, second is dama, third is bheda, and then comes danda. So violence should be the last option. If the three don't work, then one should go to the last one. War could be a good first option when the enemy is not alert or immersed in self-indulgence. So even if you think that war is the option, because the first three things are not there, but what are the chances that you can win? The chances that you can win in a battle is only when the opposition is weak. Otherwise, there is a clear indication that you will lose. So you are talking about Ram. Hmm? You know, Ram, he is neither self-indulgent, always enjoying. No, he no. Uh, so he is um, attentive. There is no question of that. He is inattentive. Uh, if your enemy is experiencing internal conflicts, then you can use that, and then you can break the troops, divide and conquer. But in this case, yeah, everyone is everyone loves Ram. There is no conflicts. There is no conflicts within. There is no parties in within. So if a person is very, very short-tempered, mm, then you can exploit. But Ram is very cool, very alert. He is very introspective, and he is loved by everyone. So every single one of his Vanar soldiers is just uh, uh, love him so much. And not only that, every single soldier are so strong. Uh, they are difficult to defeat. Hmm? Huh? How can we know this? Just have you ever imagined one of his soldiers would come all of a sudden and can create such a huge destruction the way Hanuman has done? He has done our city and still could escape. Not only that he burned, but he even could escape. So, moreover, I feel that a war has to be fought for a good reason. Now, what is the reason? Yeah, first thing is, first of all, war it should be a last option, and that war also, if we can win, we should do it. And moreover, for what purpose? Because if there is no dharmic backup, then whatever, even if we do, then mm, we may win the war, but may lose, yeah, in the end. Mm. So, so first, let's understand what justifies. What is our just cause for declaring war on Ram? Hmm? What wrong he has done to us? Did he do something? If you say that yes, he has killed Thar and Dushan, is it not that if they attacked, he should self-defense? Is there something wrong? No. Huh? Ram simply defended himself against the attack. That's justified. And they were killed in that process. If they are killed, it's not that Ram came and provoked or attacked. No, if he was just self-defense, then they were killed. And there is no fault here. If that was the reason, um, uh, shouldn't we have attacked him 10 months before? Yeah, even before abducting Sita, we would have already attacked if that was not right. We didn't do that. And then, um, if if you see, uh, Ram has killed, what do you call, has come here for what? He has come here because you have abducted his wife. Huh? He can clearly see that, yeah, that is also his dharma. If his wife is abducted, yeah, he comes to for protection. Abducting someone's wife is never a way to avenge a war fought fairly. So first of all, if you have abducted and if you wage a war, it is still adharmic. If you say it was due to the brutality done to Surpanaka, because you have said, no, no, I have brought Sita because, yeah, they have hmm, mutilated Surpanaka, your sister. Yeah, first you should understand that she tried to attack Sita, hmm, to eliminate her. And when someone is doing that, yeah, in front of her husband, then husband's duty is to protect. Hmm. So he tried to save his wife and being tormented right in front of his eyes. So what he has done is also right. So abducting a woman is a crime. So in fact, if at all a war should be waged, it should be done by Ram. It's not that you can simply go and attack because that's not right. Hmm. Well, uh, first of all, where there is wisdom, there is prosperity, and what you are doing is not with wisdom, it's lack of wisdom. Uh, and where there is lack of wisdom, there is only destruction. So Vibhishan is trying to inject some sense of wisdom into Ravan and his people there in the assembly, which is itself a very, very daring step. Why? Because everyone, first of all, how much can they understand? Do they have patience to hear? Huh? So he also further said the sin of Sita's abduction has already affected Lanka. There was never in history that Lanka was burnt, and we can already see that happened. If you do not undo it very soon, whatever you have done wrong, if you don't, then it will cost us even more. Everything will be burnt to ashes. And not only this, I have seen so many omens happening in Lanka, hmm, indicating that upcoming will be a big catastrophe. So we should stop impending catastrophe. So as long as Sita is in Lanka, the dangers are awaiting us. Uh, and then as soon as Sita is returned, I am sure that everything will become normal. Uh, all the reasons of enmity will vanish and everything will become nice. So he said, I may be your younger brother. Hmm, but I beg you to follow this advice and return Sita. That is the solution. For that matter, then there is no need for a battle, there is no need of a war, there is no need of violence. Uh, the thing is, whatever you have done, just to correct it. Hmm. So he said, surrendering Sita is the best course of action, and he set aside your anger because anger only destroys everything. Hmm. So follow the path of dharma and enhance your joy. So sukham kartum avyayam. So if one follows the duty, and then he can still attain happiness. Only thing is we don't know what is true happiness and how to get it. That's why what happiness we want is by force, by hook or crook, by all expectations on which is does not belong to us. So all these things give up. My advice, and not listen to these wicked Rakshasas who have no idea what they have spoken. This is what Vibhishan dared to speak there, and everyone were silent. What just happened? They they could not understand. Can someone speak uh, a piece of advice to their Lord, Lankeshwar? Mm. And Ravan, he got up all of a sudden. He didn't had eye-to-eye contact with Vibhishan, went here and there and left the courtroom without speaking single word. He left, and everyone were surprised. Everyone then started talking between among themselves, not knowing what to do, and they also one by one left, and that way. hmm, Ravan escaped. Hmm? Ravan escaped, but he didn't even know. Did he escape? He didn't even know why he was silent? Yeah, when Vibhishan was speaking something that was not pleasing, how could he be so silent? Huh? He didn't even reply to Vibhishan. Is he right after all? What are these ill omens that he was talking? Could it all be true? Or did I read it all wrong? So he himself was having so many questions in mind. That's why he left, and in his chambers he was thinking, is Vibhishan really my well-wisher? Or is he has yeah, kind of friend of my enemy to speak like that, because just his words are demoralizing me, demoralizing me. So in that way, he was thinking. So yeah, Vibhishan was only speaking something that can help his brother. Uh, he always know that his brother had two personalities. One is that he is very devotional, um, but his devotion, yeah, mm, he hoped that with that sense of goodness, he may take this advice. But he also had the other side, which is full of sense enjoyment. That means fully atheist. A fully atheist person, a person who doesn't believe in God, always want to become the best among the materialist, or a person who is very much devoted but doesn't know what is the purpose of devotion is. The purpose of devotion is to do what? To please the Lord. But if people out of fear, out of mutual benefit, or not mutual benefit, out of self benefit, hmm, if they are offering prayers to the Lord, expecting that he may have a very lavish, comfortable life, happy life, of free from sufferings. So such a person, Ravan is a combination of these two. mm. So in that way, mm, Ravan is. And anyway, next day when Ravan came to the assembly, um, or not to the assembly, Vibhishan himself went to see his brother to see what is his mood, did he change, or maybe to kind of conclude on this topic, he went and he started saying what kind of omens he has seen in Lanka, a big list of omens, and he says this is all showing this is happening just after you have brought Sita. All these signs are unheard of and unnatural. All these things have happened. So please know that your ministers hide bad news from you, uh, and prefer only to give you good news, so that you are looking for praises, and they know very well you will give praises. But very important, the best advice you can get at this point of time is return Sita to Ram. This is what Vibhishan told. Ram said, no, no, no. He said, no, I, no one can defeat me, not even the celestials. No one can take Sita away from my captivity. I am afraid of no one. And he simply pushed off what Vibhishan was trying to educate him. Uh, and he went out of the palace, and then hmm, he went to this into his pushpak. He went to the courtroom, and in front of all the rakshasas he started saying, you know what, let us make plans, let us make arrangements, so that we are going to prepare ourselves for the unimpending war that is going to take place. He uh, uh, when Ravan, he didn't even look at Vibhishan, but instead he said, Prahasta, order all the forces, cover the whole city inside and outside, well protected. No one can come from inside to inside and harm. And also, um, the the boundaries are well protected, unlike how Hanuma would have come. Uh, and then make our men ready for this onslaught that is going to begin. Hmm. So in that way, after saying so, Ravan saw into the eyes of Vibhishan for long, and he wanted to say, yes, whatever you have said, I don't take anything good out of it. So Prahasta immediately jumped up. He went, and then in a very short time, he returned, signaling the king that his trained people are there to carry his order. Hmm. Ravan was focusing on action, that he want things to happen all night, everything ready. Hmm. So saying so, he uh, went, hmm, and yeah, he even woke up Kumbhakarna also. He made because he knows that uh, he is need not worry. Not only that, there is Mahapashva, Prahasta, Mahodra, and so many people that, but he has his own brother Kumbhakarna, who is huge like Hulk and can kill. um, the opposition in no time. So, and in that way, so Ravan thinks that he has full strength to handle his opponent, thinking them as just humans. And Vibhishan, uh, Vibhishan was just trying to give his last piece of advice. Yeah, he was just telling that whatever you have done, what is very very harmful for whole Lanka. Hmm? Um, and then he said, hmm, um, if you do this, then there is no more Rakshasa clan. Huh? Uh, when everything doesn't exist, uh, it is because of you, and it is because of you bringing Sita here. So Vibhishan tried once again. He said, uh, mm, "Hey," he said to Prahasta, "You fools, you fool, you brag because your body hasn't penetrated with the arrows of Ram." Huh? And he said that the arrows of Ram are so sharp. Once a single arrow of Ram penetrates your body, no word will spill out of your mouth and you will be instantly dead. He is so powerful. Don't just brab. Huh? Let me tell you, huh? No one can face Ram. Huh? Not Ravan, not Kumbhakarna, not even Indrajit, Nikumba, or anyone, Prahasta. No one has can withstand Ram furious arrows. Hmm? So even Devantak, Narantak, Atikai, Atirat, Akampan are also not qualified to face mighty Ram. So he's very strong. Huh? Our king is filled with um, all qualities like harshness of speech and relentlessness in offering punishments. He is the one who gives only punishments, has no good word of speaking, superlative degree of extravagance, addiction to intoxication, lust for women. All these are qualities that he is having full. Uh, when a king is already weak, don't make him further weak with telling something that is not true. Uh. So he said, your advice will only cause him ultimate destruction, not only to him but also to the kingdom. Huh? If you claim to be real well wishers, you must help him to release Sita. So your piece of advice should be to free Sita so that everything, the king is happy, kingdom is safe, yeah, but rather not like this. So if you don't rescue him soon, then Ram will come and destroy everything. When Vibhishan was clearly saying that, hey, no one is capable of handling Ram, then Indrajit became very, very disturbed, and he said, he just out of furious uh, said, stop this nonsense. Mm, huh? Uh, and then um he was even shocked that Vibhishan was given so much time to speak all this, whatever he was talking. He said, you may be intelligent, but your words have no meaning. Huh? Here might speaks, not wisdom. So what here is very important is might. If one is strong, so they should speak, not just people who have some gyan, knowledge. Uh, so whatever you have spoken is meaningless and only reveals that you are fearful. You are actually a blot to our family because in our family no one fears anyone. Rakshas race means one who is having um, uh, strength, heroism, power, courage, valor, and you don't have any of these. I don't know how come you are in our race. Yeah, you will go down in history as the worst Rakshasa ever. He's talking very ill about of his uncle. Who I am? I have slammed Indra to the floor. Uh, Not only that, I have defeated him, I have punched the Airavat so heavily, so badly. I have pulled the tusks out of the Airavat. I am so strong. When I have crushed the celestials, what about these humans? They are nothing. And then Vibhishan laughed, saying, "Hey, you are a baby you're still a baby in your mother's womb. Huh? You're talking very childish. You're talking very unstable words. Um all that you have rattled are simply words of self-destruction. Whatever you have spoken, yeah, is only leads to your own destruction. I would say that you should be eliminated right away. Uh, I don't know why you are in this assembly. When such a childish person who has allowed you to enter here, whoever has recommended you to be in the assembly of counselors is the biggest fool and should be killed. Your advice is stupid, irrelevant, rude, unwise. So in that way, Vibhishan couldn't tolerate the foolish advice that the talk that Indrajit was making. He's saying, "Let us be simply return Sita to Ram, uh, along with wonderful, precious gifts. Whatever we have done is already wrong. So I had return Sita and pleasingly give some gifts." This is what he said. That's it. Ravan, I will not hear anymore. Let's stop it here. He said, "It's enough." Ravan became very angry. He was trembling, shivering himself, and he said, "One can stay with an enemy or a snake." This is mentioned in I think Kamba Ramayana, that yeah, one can stay with an enemy or a snake, but should never be in the company of anyone who claims to be a friend, but is an enemy. So here Ravan, after seeing the last course of actions, advices from Bibhishan, and his house being not destroyed by Hanuman, all these things, now the doubts, now he has thought, yes, this Vibhishan is my enemy, but he's acting to be my friend. He said, there is a great envy among relatives. Mm. This is the reason why um, it is dangerous to be with friends who act like friends but they are enemies. Uh, and then this is true, especially when a person is very successful, effective, highly educated, and courageous. So Ravan is thinking that he is very successful, he is very effective, he is very courageous, highly educated. Relatives always try to humiliate such an achiever and rejoice when calamities strike him. People have envy. Because of envy, they cannot see success of others, and because of they cannot see success of others, they keep kind of doing all these things. Such relatives will, with treacherous minds and twisted thoughts, can never be trusted. Even forest creatures will be vouched for this. So anyway, so he said, "You are very selfish. I have been observing you for some time now. I am convinced that you are unable to handle the praise everyone across the world heaps on me. Uh, just as a cloud may sometimes thunder in autumn, but it will never rain, selfish friends cannot have a tender heart. So you are disloyal. Disloyal friends are like what? Honeybee that extract nectar from a flower but does not stick to it. So you are selfish, you're disloyal. Uh, so in that way, he said, Vibhishan, if you were not my brother, you would be dead by now. I would have eliminated um, in the most violent manner any person daring to speak in my presence in the tone that you have spoken. I ordered you to get out my sight and my kingdom. So this is what Ravan has very, very out of his rage, very angrily spoke. He got up off his throne, walked all the way down to Vibhishan. He kicked with his left foot straight into the chest of Vibhishan, that Vibhishan fell. Uh, and then this was the, yeah, Vibhishan now knew that everything was over. He tried his best. He tried softly, he tried little strongly, but neither of this worked. And moreover, he is not in a mood or to accept it. Why? Because how much ever a good counsel goes to him, parting advice, his brother was not He is thinking that. One second, let me change the network. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm.